Good morning, students. We will start with the next part of the chapter, which refers to the non-metallic minerals, and they come under the category of mineral fuel. That means we're going to study about the three mineral fuels which we have, that is coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Though, of course, I told you in the previous video also they fall in the non-metallic category, but since they help us in generating energy, therefore we call them as mineral fuel and we put them under the category of mineral fuels. The first we're going to take up is coal. Now coal is a sedimentary rock which you studied in class 9 also, and it was formed organically when lots of trees got buried inside the surface of the earth due to some disaster in the ancient times, and their generation or degradation happened in less amount of oxygen and it turned into coal. Now, like iron, we have four types of coal also. The first type of coal is peat, which has about carbon content of 35%. It is the least or the lowest grade of coal. Then we have lignite, where the carbon content reaches to around 40%, and it is also called as brown coal, or in Hindi we call it as a kacha kola. That means the degradation has not been completed. Then the better quality is bituminous, which is the second best quality. The carbon content goes up to 70 to 80% and is generally used for industrial purposes. And the best quality is anthracite, where the carbon content is around 85 to 90%. Now what happens is, depending upon the amount of carbon content present in coal, that calorific value increases. If more carbon content is there, the amount of heat or energy released by burning of coal is more, and the amount of ash and smoke produced is less. So lesser the impurities, less amount of smoke and less ash is produced. More the amount of impurities, more amount of ash, more amount of smoke is given out, and less heat or less calorific value is present. So that is coal for you. So smoke and ash is produced due to the impurities. As less impurities, less smoke and ash. Now coal is generally associated with two eras. Eras means when the earth was being formed. Since the earth has been formed till today, we divide the earth into various ages, and those ages are called as eras. And we have coal of two types. That is, one is Gondwana and the other one is tertiary coal. Gondwana coal is found in the Damodar Valley in West Bengal, that is in the valley made by the Damodar River, and in the Son River Valley of MP and Jharkhand, while the tertiary coal is found in the Lakhimpur district in Assam and the Kalakot district of Jammu and Kashmir. What are the uses of coal? We all know that coal is basically used to produce energy, but that energy is of different types. For example, the energy produced by coal can also be used in generating of electric current. It is used as a fuel in industries as well as in locomotives. It is also used as a raw material for chemical industries and is also used in manufacturing of fertilizers, and of course in the smelting of iron. Now melting and smelting are two different things. Melting is what you all have learned since your lower classes, that melting is when a solid changes into liquid. That is what melting is all about. But smelting is when you melt an ore to take out the mineral content or the metal content of that ore, then that procedure or that process is called as smelting. So that is for coal for the time being. Then we shift on to the next mineral fuel, that is petroleum, and we all are using petroleum. Now actually petroleum is also found in sedimentary rocks like limestone, shale and sandstone, but actually what we use as petroleum, we don't get that as it is inside the surface of the earth or under the sea, ocean or ocean floor. What we get from inside the surface of the earth is crude oil. It is a very dark, thick, black, viscous liquid, and this is brought to the refineries where it is refined and a lot of products come out of it. So this was actually made, petroleum was made when deep inside the surface of the earth, again in the ancient times, and it was also decomposed in limited amount of air, which resulted in oil. And this is actually crude oil and not as petrol what we use. This crude oil is explored and then taken out from under the earth or the seafloor and then refined by factories by fractional distillation. Now, many byproducts are formed when fractional distillation is carried on, like diesel, wax, Vaseline, tar, kerosene, lubricants, white petrol, etc. So, when crude oil is fractionally distilled, different elements which are found, different products which are found in that crude oil, they boil and turn into vapor at different temperatures, and then they are collected by condensing it. So all these products are taken out during the fractional distillation, or as we call it, by the refining of crude oil. And in India, we divide the petroleum which is found broadly in two regions, eastern region and western region. We have a rich offshore oil field called the Mumbai High, which is roughly 176 kilometers away from Mumbai in the Arabian Sea. And the drilling platform on which the drills are put so that the petrol can be lifted up from inside the seafloor is called as the Sagar Samrat. So how are we using petrol? We are using it as fuel, of course, for generation of energy or power. And the byproducts like benzene are used in chemical industries and petrochemical industries, which make detergents, plastic, fertilizers, rubber, paints, flooring, etc. Apart from that, when we are refining petrol, which I had already spoken to you about, we also get byproducts like diesel, wax, Vaseline, tar, kerosene, lubricants, and white petrol, which you all know are used extensively in various forms. Diesel, of course, as fuel for heavy vehicles, then wax for your candle and other ornamental objects, then Vaseline as a cosmetic product, tar for the layering of the roads, kerosene for burning again, and lubricants for your greasing and everything inside a machine, and white petrol for your airplanes. So all this comes out when the crude oil is being distilled. Third mineral fuel which we are using is natural gas. See, by coal and petroleum, a lot of pollution is caused, but natural gas, in comparison to coal and petroleum, is cheaper, it is eco-friendly and source of power, like for example, LPG and CNG, which is always cheaper as compared to petroleum and coal. Now, this was formed by the decomposition of microorganisms inside the surface of the earth. So, that is why it is called as mineral fuel. Now, it is in India, it is found in the South Passaic, Mumbai High, Gulf of Cambodge regions, and natural oil or natural gas is found above the oil pool. This should be natural gas and not oil. So, natural gas is found above the oil pool. So, whenever natural gas is found, oil is must. That means oil will always be found. But the vice versa is not true. That means if you have found petroleum somewhere, it is not essential that you will find natural gas also at the same place. But if you find natural gas, it is must that the petroleum would be underneath. It is used as fuel. We all use LPG, CNG, generation of power, that is for the electric current. Now, we studied about coal, we studied about petroleum, we studied about natural gas. These are the conventional sources of energy. That means these type of energies are being used since ancient times. Nothing new. Everybody knows about them. And recently, there are non-conventional sources of energy also. So what is the difference between conventional and non-conventional energy resources? Conventional resources have been used since ancient times like coal and petroleum. And energy has been recently harnessed like solar energy and wind energy. Conventional energies are non-renewable. That means once they have been used, they cannot be used again. They get consumed while producing power. Renewable can be used again and again. That means water, solar power, wind energy. They are not getting consumed when they produce electric current, so they can be used again and again. They're exhaustible. Conventional sources are exhaustible. That means we all know that they will finish one day. We have limited resources of conventional sources of power. Non-conventional, they are non-exhaustible. Unlimited amount of power is available with us. Conventional causes pollution. Non-polluting is non-conventional. Conventional sources are expensive. Non-conventionals are gift of nature, free. We don't have to pay for them. And conventional sources causes global warming. these are eco-friendly. So they are very, very useful to us, and therefore we must try and switch from conventional to non-conventional ASAP. That's for now. In the next video, we'll talk about the hydel power. That means the resources using water to manufacture or produce electric current. Bye bye for now.